new episode of the Rebel Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long, the Terminator.
Yeah.
Long, the Terminator. Terminator.
But not like Matt, the womb Terminator.
Yes.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you, Long.
First child on the way.
Wait, did you go public with that yet, though?
I have not gone public with it yet, but
well,
I'm okay going
my
public.
bad.
I've been telling friends, and you know what? There's only friends that listen to us, and maybe some Germans, but mainly friends.
We do have some overseas listeners.
Yeah, we do.
So.
Yeah.
And,
But yeah, so baby number 4.
you're fucked.
Yeah. Stop, Long.
Oh, you look like you're getting PTSD there.
With three of them in zone defense. Now it's like fucking prevent defense.
Yeah, man.
4 of them. You know, so.
Matt's getting PTSD from all the kids he's raising.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have a friggin' jailhouse blitz in the house. Crazy.
Are you going to have a shotgun wedding?
I did have a shotgun wedding the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. Maybe we'll renew our vows, you know.
Shit, you've got 4. I've got 3. My brother's got 2. We've got enough for a baseball
I got
team.
0.
Boom. There we go.
Got 9 total.
I got 0.
God damn.
We'll bring back the Colt 45s.
You're so fucking Mexican.
I got 0.
4 of them, man.
God deemed my sperm too evil to breed.
Too evil.
You just drop Jackie's pants and bam,
Boom.
pregnant.
Bam. Pow. Right in the kisser.
I love you, Jackie, if you hear that.
You got some
Don't kill me.
You got some lethal genetic bullets there.
There we go. Pew, pew.
So, meanwhile, you've been busy this week.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking out, I'm sure, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Of course.
You were very quiet since that announcement.
Yeah.
Group chat.
A little sobering, you know.
Very quiet.
Sobering. I'm going to need some more alcohol as it gets closer.
Well, I hope you have a girl.
Yep. Everyone is pretty much
You need a
asking
girl.
for that.
You got the boys. You need a girl.
I hope you have a transgender.
They come out that way?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope you give birth to it.
It, like Pennywise pops out.
No.
They all float.
No,
no?
Since the younger generations don't want to use proper pronouns, like he or she, I guess we should start using it.
It.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or
It.
They or whatever.
Whoa.
Baby self.
Yeah.
And that exciting news for the week. We're drowning some sorrows tonight, too.
Yep.
The Houston Astros lost Game 7 of the World Series. And for many
I don't like how the media was painting us as the villain.
A longtime listener of the show knows we're in Houston, Texas, and
Hurston.
a couple weeks ago we were kind of live broadcasting the game as we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the playoff games, and but yeah, this week they failed to clinch the World Series victory. I've been a little down in the dumps the last couple of days.
We didn't go down without a fight, though.
I'm pretty passionate about my Astros.
I can tell you that.
And,
we did not go down without a fight. We didn't get
No.
swept. We gave a pretty good FU victories at, 08.
But it still hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if we didn't have 17, that championship, I'd probably be a wreck right now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, fuck that.
If we had lost to the
radio's
Dodgers
canceled.
and...
Yeah, I'd be like, I cancel the fucking show for a week. We're going to become a sports podcast and just talk baseball all the fucking time.
I still remember that night, man. I was up, you were up, Frank was up, everyone was up, and and it's like the look on Springer and Altuve's face whenever they caught that last out.
We will
Man.
always have 17. And that's
We will.
the good thing. You can't take the championship away from you. Mm-hmm. But it would be nice to be celebrating today instead of being mourning.
Somber.
Yes.
Somber.
But we're going to celebrate by talking of a good movie and some other good stuff. And but before we get into that, I want to announce that we launched our Patreon officially.
Yes.
So go to the rebelradiopodcast.com. There's a nifty little link right there on the right side that says Patreon. There's also the Patreon logo. There's even a post on there explaining to all the awards you can get. So we'll go over those real quick because this is a big launch for us. We've been doing podcasting for 5 years now, and we're wanting to give back a little bit to the people that listen to the show and hope that they support us in a little bit of a way monetarily because it helps us keep the show running for you. So we have a $2 tier where you $2 a month gets you your name on our Hall of Fame wall that will be up on the website soon, a shout out on the show, and you'll get 2 months of exclusive episodes. So for the first 2 months, for $5 a month, you'll get an exclusive episode every month, plus the other stuff, and you'll get a exclusive sticker and a button. So sent to you in the mail. Those are one time only. That's not a bad deal.
No.
And for $15 a month, you get to pick an episode that we can do. It can be a regular episode or an exclusive episode. You'll get your name and on the wall and all that. And you'll also get an exclusive t-shirt. That's a one-time only deal. That the design's coming soon. And we'll put that up on the website when the design is available. So 3 different tiers. But that's not all. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff with this. We say one exclusive episode a month. Sometimes you might get other episodes or other bonus things. We really want to make this a cool Patreon that makes it worth your investment by helping out the show.
A listener-centric
yes
reward.
And
I'll
we
read
really,
Shakespeare for you.
We really mean that. We promise that. You're going to get more than what's just on those tiers. We're going to really give you some good stuff. The exclusive episodes are going to be fun. They're generally going to be like kind of... We're gonna have some fun with exclusive episodes. We're gonna talk probably some really shitty movies.
Yeah.
And have some fun with it. It's gonna be a different side of what you hear on this show, where we talk really good cult films.
We might do barbed wire.
We might. So we might be doing crappy films on the exclusive episode. But sometimes we'll do other films on the episode that just maybe didn't quite fit right in the flow of our monthly episodes. We might do on the exclusives. Mm-hmm. So a lot of fun. So again, go to RebelRadioPodcast.com. Join our Patreon. It charges you at the first of the month every month. $2, $5, or $15, and we would really appreciate it. And we thank you if you join, and you will get a shout out on the show, of course, if you join. Oh, and if you join the first 7 days, which you'll already be 3 days into that 7 days when you hear this episode, you'll get an exclusive episode that no one else is going to get. And that's if anybody joins the first 7 days. We'll throw some sort of exclusive episode together. So
awesome.
So cool beans.
Cool beans.
That's right.
There we go. The best beans outside of refried.
So
yeah.
Tell your friends. Rebel Radio's launch Patreon.
Yarp.
Yarp.
Yeah. So let's get into today's show. Download this where we tell people what we watched, streamed, checked out this week. I know we've got some stuff to talk about. I've been on vacation, so I had a chance to watch some things. Long has no life, so he had a chance to watch some things. I'm just kidding, Long. I'm just kidding.
I'll kill you.
He's gonna, damn, if I don't make it through this episode, you know why. So, whoever wants to go first, what did you guys watch this week?
I probably have the least, so I rewatched. Yeah, that's what I downloaded.
Another baby
or more so, I uploaded something, and now something will be downloaded in 9 months. But so I watched Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers.
It still holds up.
It still holds up. It's like, and one penis enlarger for
awesome.
Austin Powers. That thing's not mine. It's not my bag, baby. That kind of stuff still works.
Oh, come on.
Hey, we'll have a quote along one day, maybe for a special episode.
Just say it's good. You don't have to quote on it.
It's groovy. And then I watched Terminator 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so just two. 2 for Tuesday. You Long?
What's your favorite scene in Terminator 2?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's the end. Whenever he says, "I know now why you cry."
Foundry?
Nope. He tells him that he knows now why he cries, and it gives that element.
Sensitive.
Yes, that's sensitive. The sensitive part. I think it gives another element to that film. We already know Arnold is great.
I think you'll like the ending.
With the machine gun. Yeah.
I think you will.
You gonna cry?
It made me cry. It definitely.
Oh, I'm gonna cry then.
Well, to bounce off of Matt, what I watched this week, tops is Terminator Dark Fate, and I really like the ending to this movie. I won't spoil it, but I really like it. It definitely felt like the final Schwarzenegger appearance in the Terminator movie.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Now I really gotta go see it.
Yeah.
You've really got me pumped now.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear what you think of the first 5 minutes of it. Me personally, I welcome the change that they introduced in Dark Fate, and I really hope they do a sequel because it's a solid movie, and I enjoyed this more than Genesis, which is not
hard to do.
Right, yeah. Which is not hard to do. And Salvation, and I'm sure there's some fans. Did you like Salvation?
I like Salvation,
yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Salvation was entertaining.
I like it better than Salvation.
Even though it had Sam Worthington in it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about him. Every time that name pops up, Sam Worthington. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I liked Salvation, actually. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it okay. It wasn't mind-blowing, And besides Terminator, I played The Outer Worlds, which is a Fallout-esque type game from Obsidian. Pretty fun shooting mechanics, science fiction, kind of like playing Firefly, but RPG style.
Okay.
And I know I saw something else. What else did I see? I can't remember. Oh, the World Series. Hung out with Mark on days where we weren't recording, and it was pretty fun hanging out with you, Mark. Watching the World Series with you.
It was swell.
There we go. Swell. Yeah.
It was. What was that old-timey way of saying these? And how?
And how?
Yeah. So, yeah. And thanks for letting me hang out with you, watching the World Series.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm sure you wanted to kind of break the monotony of watching the World Series with just kids all the time.
Yeah, no, it's good to have adult conversation now and then.
Yeah.
I get that, besides at work, when I see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you guys have your families to raise, and you guys are on your... I mean, it's like, I was there. I know what it felt like. You're on your own island,
Yeah.
you know, with your kids. You just focused on them, and then you watch stuff on your own most of the time. And,
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's good to have adult conversation. So, being home this week, I was able to watch a few things. I was in Walmart, and I was just randomly looking in the $5 bin, and I grabbed a copy of Phantasm for $5.
Oh, nice.
You know what? Yeah, it had been a while since I saw it.
Is it because I mentioned it the other
Yeah, it
day?
was kind of because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And it was like the remastered version that J.J. Abrams' company remastered. Because, you had mentioned on the show how Abrams is a big fan of the movie. And, man, I'm rewatching it, and, I always forget how slow those old horror movies are. Like,
Yeah.
nothing happens for, an hour.
Yeah.
And then finally, everything happens really fast. It holds up. I mean, don't get me wrong. You just... When you watch it, you have to put
Part
your
2
mindset.
is better, right?
Part 2 is probably better.
Excuse me.
I think that's the one with the black chick with the nunchucks, and she's like badass with them.
Oh, that's what I forgot to mention before you continue on. On Halloween, I spent a pretty good portion of the time watching Halloween-themed type music videos. I saw the full 20-minute version of Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Good memories. And I watched the Ghostbusters music video, which was kind of odd. It's like, what's Chevy Chase doing in there? John Candy's in it too. You know, and a couple of 80s models here and there.
Right.
I don't know. So, yeah. That's how I spent my Halloween. Trying to ignore the fact that I was married on Halloween.
So, I watched Phantasm.
Cheers.
Just felt like watching an old horror movie. And, it was, hey, for a cheap purchase, it's cool to have in the collection. Watch Phantasm maybe once a year around Halloween. Mm-hmm. And I went and saw Joker this week. Ledger is still way better. I don't care what anyone says. Phoenix is good. He'll probably, very likely, be nominated for an Oscar, maybe win it. But he just didn't do enough for me to be better than Heath. Mm-hmm. In this, the film is well shot. Some really great cinematography. I'm going to go into a little spoiler territory here because the movie's been out a month. I think it's fair game. When you talked about Matt, it was still pretty new.
Yeah.
But I really bought into the fact that what reviewers said is that the whole movie is essentially a dream. I don't think any of it really happens. You see, it's all the idea of this guy going crazy and creating this Joker persona. And the fact that the Joker is 35 plus years older than Bruce Wayne in this movie tells me that it's probably not the real Joker. That's just all an idea that's in his head. But it's good though. It is a good movie. I'd probably give it like a B. I don't think it's a great movie. There's a lot of things that I liked about it. There's a lot of things I didn't like about it. I felt that they pushed him being crazy a little too far. You could have cut about 15 minutes out of this film and you still got the point across that he had lost his mind and he was creating and he was creating this new persona of himself. It drags a little bit. There's a lot of slowness in it. It's definitely a slow burn movie.
Yeah.
It's not your typical comic book movie at all. In fact, there's not even a DC logo at the beginning of the film.
Oh.
But things I did like about it is I really like the film noir style to it with the jazz music and the old, almost like an old crime film. I thought that was kind of cool. Did you notice when you saw it that most of the movie is in like grays and blues, but yet Arthur's always wearing yellows and browns and kind of standing out a little bit.
Okay.
I think they did that on purpose. He was
Probably.
he was a little more colorful than everybody else, even though he was down.
Especially at the end, I noticed
even
that.
though he was down in his dumps. Yeah, it's almost like they wanted him to stand out in the movie, and that's the whole point in it. And you see this in the trailers. He goes, like, no one ever notices me. They're noticing now. I think they did that so that you would be drawn to his character, that you notice him throughout this film.
Did the you know how when we first saw the Joker trailer that we all thought it was a little art housey and a little off the beaten path? Did the movie come off that way?
I didn't feel it did. I didn't, and I thought the same thing, that the trailer felt art housey. It's pretty much still a straightforward narrative, despite the fact that it could all be a dream.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was over artsy. I thought whoever Todd Phillips used for cinematography did a good job. It definitely felt like a Gotham City that's falling apart, like it needs a Batman at this point.
Yeah.
You honestly could almost place this movie in the Nolan films in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of the way the when Batman
was
Begins
shot.
starts. Yeah.
Looks like it's
Possibly.
in Chicago or something like that.
Yeah. But not a terrible film. Not a great film either. I'm not as high on as some of the critics were that were just praising it and thought it was so fantastic. Being a Batman fan, there's going to be things that I have issues with in it.
Remember how there was that the friggin' media was trying to drum up like, oh, there's going to be so much violence because of this movie coming out. And
yeah.
nothing,
That's the
not
thing.
a damn thing happened.
I didn't think this was any violent than Gangs of New York or Scorsese film or anything else I've seen.
Yeah.
He had some pretty brutal moments in it, but nothing that I haven't seen
Nothing
in
that
films
stoked
before.
the fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing that you haven't seen in a movie before. So.
Not a goddamn thing happened.
And I thought that. Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Maybe if you downplay that to a mental illness standpoint, maybe that someone that's mentally ill and hasn't been able to get help could watch the movie and think, oh, I'm going to be like Arthur. I could see that. You hope that no one does that, obviously.
Yeah.
But as far as major violence, no, I didn't feel, that it was going to cause any problems. So, people they like to start shit.
Yep. And nothing happened.
No. But a pretty good film. And Joaquin is good. He's a really good actor. He always puts everything into his movies. Most of the time I like him. I didn't like that damn Amazon movie he did, Wish You Were Here, whatever. That shit was weird as fuck.
How about The Master? I kind of want to see
I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson, I don't know, his movies,
a bit pretentious.
Yeah, I thought Let There Be Blood was okay, but most of his movies I never really liked that much. I couldn't get through Magnolia. That movie's too weird.
Yeah.
He's a very odd director.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's really the main stuff I watched this week. I feel like there's something I'm missing.
The World Series. You watched the World Series.
The World Series. Yeah.
And that takes about 3.5 hours of your time to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but
Yeah.
I'll live. I'll be a little sad for, probably till March when baseball starts again.
Did you ever watch season 2 of Cobra Kai?
No.
God.
I
What?
know. I'm slacking.
Seriously?
It's free now. Now you can
I know,
watch.
man. I know. I haven't even finished The Boys yet. I still have 2 episodes.
I want to see that Eddie
Wow.
Murphy movie, Dolomite. I heard it was
Oh
I heard
yeah,
that was
Dolomite.
Oh, I did watch the first episode of HBO's The Watchmen. So they did a
Okay.
free preview.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was going on. I guess it's one of those shows you're going to have to let it unfold. It's a sequel to the movie. It's really...
The movie or the comic book?
From what I'm gathering, this is closer to the movie universe, but yet with some comic book elements in it. It's very... Production-wise, it's extraordinary. Just like you would expect from HBO. The costumes and the way the film is shot, or the television show is shot. I actually had the first 2 episodes on my DVR because they did a free preview. I just haven't watched the second one yet. But interesting, and Alan Moore's already hating on it. But, Alan Moore hates on everything. Fuck that guy. Whatever. You made comic books. You sold the rights. DC wants to make money. They're gonna let people make these fucking things into movies and TV shows.
Yep.
Whatever. That guy hated on V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta was a badass movie.
Yeah, it was good.
The guy's just a cranky old man. So whatever. So I did watch that.
Old man screams at cloud.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's it for Download This then on this week's show.
Righto.
So let's get into today's featured movie,
Dredd.
2012's Dredd.
Are you ready, rookie?
Not the Sylvester Stallone one from the 90s.
What?
Oh,
I wasn't
the
supposed to
law.
watch that?
I mean, you can watch it, but that's not the movie we're talking about. Not the one with Rob Schneider in it. Oh, that movie. No, this is the good Dredd from 2012.
Do they have like judges for civil suits
in this universe? I don't know. It's a good question.
I was thinking about that when I was driving. Does Dredd universe have judges for civil suits?
So this movie came out in 2012, kind of out of nowhere.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, 7 years. Kind of came out of nowhere. Like, there were rumors that a new Dredd film was being made. There wasn't a lot of publicity behind it. Then it just sort of came out in September of that year. Didn't make a lot of money because everyone knows September is not a good month for films. You know, once kids are back in school and football season starts, people just don't go to theaters as much in September. But the film gained a following through home video, Netflix, and other things. And now I think 7 years later, Dredd is already a modern cult classic in a lot of ways. Yeah. I didn't catch this in theaters. I caught it on home video and rented it when it came out. And I initially didn't really like it that much. But I think I wasn't fully invested in it when I first watched it.
I think at that time you were kind of hating on satire.
And I came off of the Raid, and I felt like this is just ripped off of the Raid.
That's part of it too.
Then I come to find out later that the guy had never even seen the Raid who made this. So I wasn't a fan of it. I remember liking Karl Urban in it.
He's always reliable.
But now I look back on this film and like I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, and I like it more every time I watch it.
Yeah.
When was the first time you guys saw it?
I saw it on home video.
Home video after you recommended it to me whenever we worked at Kroger together.
Yeah, and to summarize the plot, Dredd is basically about Judge Dredd and his rookie, played by Olivia. What's her name?
Oh,
Angela?
Right? Olivia.
No.
The judge. The judge and his rookie partner, and they go into this...
Olivia Thirlby?
Yeah.
Thirlby,
Yeah, Olivia Thirlby. She's so hot. I look at her as if I've seen an angel on the screen. But anyways,
a punk rock angel.
So it's
directed by Pete Travis. That was the director's name.
Yeah, Judge Dredd and his rookie goes into this building to arrest Big Mama.
Well, initially they go in there just to arrest the drug dealers that they were chasing initially.
Okay.
Yeah, and they found out that the leader of the gang was in that same building. Mama. And she locks down the building, and Dredd and his rookie have to survive the entire gangs that are gunning after them inside the building. And then she also, Mama had some judges under her payroll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they go after them. And Judge Dredd's rookie happens to be psychic as well, so they kind of get separated, but. Towards the end, Dredd gets his hand on Mama and executes her.
And the drug they use is called slow-mo.
Slow-mo.
He gives people the effect of a highness where the world around them slows down. So he gives her this drug and makes her drop 100-something stories in slow motion.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool effect in the film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's repeated frequently.
Yeah. That was one thing I hated when I first watched it. I was like, man, they keep repeating the same effect over and over again, but now the more I watch the film, I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You know,
wasn't there a mention where Mama was punishing one of her cronies? They put him on the drugs and then they skinned him alive.
Yeah, and threw him off the building.
Yeah.
And then General Hux plays her. Her little computer crony.
Yeah,
you know?
With the bionic eyes.
And Mama is played by Lena Headey. So I guess her last name from Game of Thrones and 300 fame, of course.
And Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, Karl Urban plays Judge Dredd in this, and he is excellent. He refused to take off the helmet, just like in the comics. He said, "No, you're never going to see my face," and he stayed true to that.
Yep.
So there are people that actually argue that was the death of the movie because it didn't have a major star. That's a ridiculous reason, you know.
Wow, they didn't help by releasing it in September.
No. And the idea is in Mega City 1 that most of the world is going to shits, and there's like 7 or 8 major cities. And so they're in Mega City 1, and the judges act as police officers, judges, executioners, all in one, essentially. And they are the law in this town. And, of course, the famous line is, "I am the law," from the Judge Dredd comics, and in the Judge Dredd movie that starred Sylvester Stallone, that was all over the trailers. That movie's not very good, though. Don't go watch that one. Watch this version.
The first 5 minutes are good. The shootout between the two buildings, and he's like, the law. And they're like, oh my God, it's Judge Dredd.
That's about it.
Yeah.
This is a 10 times much better version of that storyline.
It's a solid movie. It's one of my favorites, of recent years.
What amazes me is when I was watching this film the other day and I'm looking at stuff, doing research for the movie I'm watching, it's like, this didn't have a super high budget, but they filmed a lot of it in South Africa.
45 million.
Yeah, they filmed a lot of it in South Africa, so it already had that. Unfortunately, South Africa already has that futuristic kind of gritty look, very similar to Neil Blomkamp's shooting his films there and things like that. So that helped make Mega City 1 look better. Before a $45 million picture, the CGI work and the background effects and making the cities look larger are pretty remarkable in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is a really great looking film for a lower budget movie.
Yeah.
You know? It looks as good as any Majorman film. The motorcycles in the film are all real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karl Urban even learned to ride them. He insisted on
did all the stunts.
wanting it to look real. They use modified Glocks for the guns because they wanted to be like real police officers' guns, but they're modified to look like they have multiple weapon usage and their DNA and all that stuff.
No double whammy though. There's
No double whammy?
No double whammy like in the original Judge Dredd
Well, that's okay.
movie.
They don't need the real double whammy. And there's no Rob Schneider in this movie either.
Yeah, no Rob Schneider.
Thank God.
I don't know why they want it. Well, the director didn't grasp the concept of the comic, and that's why we got a bunch of unnecessary comic relief.
Yeah.
Obviously. This movie has Dredd is much more serious than the Stallone version.
Yeah.
And it's got like a underlying dark humor in it for sure.
There's some satire in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's poking fun at the American, conservatism a bit with the whole Judge Dredd being the law. And it's just a satire. Because Dredd was a product of Reagan-era politics. So, and that's where, the comic hit its peak. Well, started out from there. And then
2000 AD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden stuff in this film too. Like in Mama's office, there's a judge helmet with a gold chain and the badge attached to it, which is a nod that has the design of the original comics. There's also like Lena Headey's real tattoos are on her, and they extended them to make them look more like they're on her because she already had a lot of tattoos. I thought that was kind of cool. The American flag is seen if you look closely in the peach trees in the building, and it's only 6 stars on it because there's 6 major states now.
Oh wow!
So little tidbits in there like that I thought were kind of cool. The badges with their names on them are right from the comic books. They say Anderson, they say Dredd on them. So things like that.
That's the name of the rookie, Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson was the name of the rookie.
This was supposed to be the first part of a sequel because the writer wanted to do Judge Death.
Oh yeah.
And there's still talks about them doing a sequel.
Yeah.
It could happen one day.
I hope Netflix picks it up.
There's references to fatties in the comic book, which are people that were real bloated. The comics had these fatties. All of these are like hardcore drug users that have let their lives go. And there's a scene at the beginning of this film where they're walking by. You see a fatty dead next to his rolling board and stuff. Little references for the hardcore comic fans are in this because Karl Urban and Peter Travis, is it Travis's name directed it? They made sure that they wanted as many references to the comics because they came to find out that apparently there's a pretty large Dredd comic book fans out there that are really passionate about this book, and I didn't know that. And then with Karl Urban, they learned about this. They wanted to make sure this film was as true to the comics as they could, because they knew they butchered it with the Stallone version back in the 90s. If they wanted this version to be truer to those comics than that version was.
Yes. Yes, they butchered.
Are fucking with you,
I think the booze is getting to him.
No. The Stallone movies were great, Mark.
There was only one.
Okay, movie. But it was great whenever
Demolition Man and Wesley Snipes.
Demolition Man.
Man, that's not Dredd.
When he's Demolition Man. He keeps cursing and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use this as paper to wipe my butt with. I'm going to use these tickets. I'll wipe my butt with these tickets.
Talk about Demolition Man?
Demolition Man. Only because you were.
I've never seen it. I've only seen bits and pieces.
But I always thought...
Never seen Demolition Man, really?
No, not all the way through.
The middle part of the Judge Dredd from 95 was pretty bad. I mean, Stallone made some bad movies. He was riding a high. And then he made Cliffhanger, though. He made Cliffhanger after that, and it was great. Dude, me and my cousin would throw stuff on his stairs, and we would pretend we were Stallone from Cliffhanger, and we'd take like the coat hangers, and we'd tie strings to them. We'd pretend like we were Stallone.
That's
and
great.
try and get up.
Right. Anyway, Duncan Jones Duncan Jones,
Yes.
David Bowie's son, almost directed this film.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he backed out because not that he didn't appreciate Alex Garland's script, he just had a certain vision of how he wanted to do Dredd, and he didn't want to do this version if he couldn't do it the way he wanted to do it. So out of respect to Alex Garland, he backed out of doing the film.
Wow.
Which I think is pretty cool, because most directors would come in and be like, nah, not doing this. You know, we saw that with Matt Reeves and Batman recently. You know, we're not getting Ben Affleck's script. We're getting whatever Matt Reeves wanted to do.
Yeah.
Apparently Affleck's script was really good, but Matt Reeves came in and said, no, I'm going to do it my way. So, you know, Duncan Jones said, no, you know what? Out of respect for Alex Garland, I'm just going to turn down the film and let someone else do it. So that was kind of cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Duncan Jones, because Duncan Jones at this time in 2012 had done Moon, which was a big hit, and he was looking for the next big thing, and Duncan Jones could have done whatever he wanted. Of course, he went on to make Warcraft, which maybe that wasn't the best choice, but you know,
It was in China. It made a ton of movies.
Hey,
Yeah.
I didn't dislike
Ton of
that
money.
movie. I actually
Worldwide.
thought Warcraft was okay.
Was it really CGI heavy?
It is CGI heavy, but I didn't hate that. It was an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it. You know,
The female orcs.
yeah.
They are kind of hot in a weird
And,
way.
And Karl Urban sounds a lot like Clint Eastwood in this movie. And not necessarily on purpose. He was just trying to keep it sounding kind of low-key.
He struggled with that voice.
Well, he wanted to sound like he was in control.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out sounding like Eastwood. And he realized it after the fact. And it almost feels like by the end of the film, like he's really trying to channel Eastwood. You know,
That's funny.
As he goes on. But he just was trying to keep it real, just like gritty and stuff. Because, you know, and I think it's kind of cool, though, how he does it. You know, 'cause
I didn't even notice.
You
the
could almost see
Eastwood thing.
Eastwood playing this role. Young Eastwood.
Oh, a young
You know?
Eastwood? Yeah,
you could see
maybe.
Young Eastwood playing
My
this role.
favorite scene in the movie was when everything was locked down, and then he went on the building PA system, and he says that he is the law speech, but he made the whole scene feel like, okay, the gang is stuck in there with Dredd rather than Dredd is stuck in there with the gang.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they screwed with the wrong judge, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like the fact whenever Mama has the judges under her payroll and they come in, and I thought that the movie could have easily turned pace there, where it became judge versus judge. It kind of became a cliche type thing, but it doesn't.
No.
You know, he easily dispatches a couple of them really quickly.
Well paced.
And then it's kind of a cat and mouse game a bit with the main judge, but it never felt gratuitous or like, okay, let's have a reason for the judges to fight each other. It makes sense.
I like how Anderson used her psychic powers,
Yeah.
you know, to expose one of them.
Michael Biehn was almost in this movie too.
Really?
Yeah, he auditioned for a role. That'd have been kind of cool.
he
That
had to
would've been cool.
audition.
Yeah, right.
Come on, it's Michael
Just
Biehn.
hire him,
you
man.
don't audition Michael Biehn.
But you know, I really like this movie the more now than I did when I first saw it, and I there's been a lot of talks about them doing a Mega City 1 TV series or a sequel to this. Karl Urban is still, you know, campaigning for a sequel to this film. Maybe some of his clout now from the boys can maybe get it made. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
Star Trek 3 is never going to happen. So,
Yeah.
or Star Trek 4. I should
Star
say.
Trek 4.
Well, I thought Quentin Tarantino was going to do it still.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it going to be with those guys?
I don't know.
Yeah. But, you know, maybe Urban's going to get some more Hollywood clout. Because
Leonardo DiCaprio as Kirk.
yeah, I really like Urban, man. He's like, ever since I saw him as Bones in Star Trek, and is that like the first thing he really did that was big in 2009? Feels like he did something. He was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good, man. There's something about him. He's got a good presence to him.
Yeah.
He feels like one of those Hollywood stars that could be a bigger star, but he's not quite.
But he stays in his wheelhouse mostly.
Yeah.
Stuff that interests him.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah. He's really good, though, man.
No, wait. That was Thor. That was way after all that.
Yeah, he was at Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But he's almost not recognizable in that because he's bald and has the tattoos and the armor on.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was funny in that one.
Yeah. He's good stuff. But, man, I think Dredd, though, is a pretty solid A.
That's fair.
A.
A.
Yeah, I like it. I think my favorite scene is, I like the end, man, where he throws Mama down the thing.
Yeah.
Slow-mo.
It looks like
She gets what she deserves.
the original concept showed a fat mama going down the side of the building.
And she was supposed to be elderly, too.
Yeah.
But Lena Headey's audition was so good that she convinced Alex Garland to make her a younger character and let her do the role.
I like the scene where the gang brought out the minigun
Oh, yeah.
to mow down Dredd,
Yeah.
but they ended up killing everyone else.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Lena Headey plays a pretty tough
Character.
bad guy.
Yeah.
And she's got like this sexiness to her. Ever since she was in 300, man, it's just something about her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. I would marry her.
I think so.
I mean, she played Sarah Connor.
I always forget that.
in Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Terminator
Yeah.
Chronicles.
She was really good in that
Yeah.
one. So,
But yeah. So being that we watch Dredd, and we're bombarded nowadays with Marvel and DC films, probably more so Marvel in some ways. But there's a lot of other good comic book movies out there that aren't Marvel and DC, and Dredd is amongst those. So we decided to talk about what our top 5 favorite non-Marvel DC comic book movies are. And since I'm already talking, I guess I will go first, if that's okay.
Go for it.
At number 5, man, I have 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There we go.
Still one of the best Ninja Turtle movies made.
that's my number 5 too.
Still one of the best comic book movies. Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought they were owned by DC now.
This is back then when it came out.
Oh, okay.
Eastman
Gotcha.
and Laird.
Well, they're owned by IDW. They're owned by IDW now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But,
I once held the number 1 issue, the original number 1 issue of TMNT. in my
Really?
hand. It was black and white, written and drawn by Eastman and Laird, and I couldn't forget how violent it was. The comic book.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I was impressed when the first movie came out. Pretty much followed the basic plot of the very first comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's on my list. It's still one of the best.
Man.
I mean, it still holds up today amongst comic book films.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was DC because of the Ninja Turtle Batman movie.
No, that was just a crossover.
Darn. Okay, I left it out, but my number 5 is Men in Black.
That's a good one.
Not a bad number 5. Tommy Lee Jones. I remember seeing it on my mom's birthday, and walking in, the attendant said that it was a really violent movie and it should have been rated R. Do not believe her. Still didn't believe her then. Still don't believe her now, even when I know more. But I was entertained. It's definitely a movie you could probably watch again. I love Will Smith and I think that's when he started to get really, really good. That's when he was in real high demand after that. And, of course, Tommy Lee Jones is in it. Great story all around. Orion's Belt, stuff like that. Noisy Cricket.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick.
Not bad.
Number 4.
And number 4, I have Hellboy, which we covered on the show
Yes.
a while back. I think it's still one of the better ones. I know some people like Hellboy 2 better, but I just think that the first one is... And then obviously I'm talking the...
I liked Hellboy 1 better.
Yeah, I'm obviously
Yeah.
talking the Guillermo del Toro version, not the new one that came out recently.
Yeah.
It's just a good film, man, and it takes the Seeds of Destruction storyline from the comics and it puts it on the screen and it captures the characters so well. It's like del Toro literally took the character of Hellboy and Abe Sapien and they brought him to life on the big screen, which is the way it should be. And it's a shame we never got his Hellboy 3, but we at least got 2 good films and a couple of good animated films from that era of Hellboy.
Yeah.
Which are put out. So yeah, Hellboy's at my number 4.
My number 4 is Road to Perdition, starring Tom Hanks
Oh, nice.
and Daniel Craig. That's came out as a graphic novel, and it's a great crime story. Paul Newman's in it as well, and it's definitely not your traditional, DC Marvel comic book. And I highly recommend Road to Perdition. And the way it's shot, it does look like a graphic novel too.
Sam Mendes directed.
Sam Mendes, yeah,
The
from
director of Skyfall.
Skyfall.
I've actually only seen Road to Perdition like one time.
Yeah,
That's something I need to go back and rewatch.
yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I like.
I
it a
remember
lot.
liking it. Just I guess it didn't stick with me long enough to.
Did you
ever
watch
watch
it
it again.
as a parent, or did you watch it before you were a parent?
It had to be before I was parents for some years, so I watched
yeah.
it.
It came out like 2001,
Yeah, it's been a
2002.
while.
So
I have The Mask as number 4. I love Jim Carrey.
Entertaining movie, but
It's an entertaining. I mean, whenever I was the Cuban Pete scene, I thought was hilarious.
I think my biggest problem with that movie is, and I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I don't hate the mask. Is that it's nothing like the comic. That's why I can't put
okay.
the comic is ultra violent. When he puts a mask on, he kills, he murders, and then they made it a comedy.
Yeah.
If it was closer to the comic, okay. But
yeah.
I do like the movie, too, for what it is.
Studio interference.
I do like the mask for what it is. I think Carrie's great in the movie, but it's just like, it's too different than the comic for me to put it in a list. Does that make sense?
You got Cameron Diaz in it,
Well,
though.
yeah, she's fucking hot.
Dude, I feel like that was whenever she was at her peak. And then she got all really skinny, like a lot of 90s models, like were stereotypical supposed to look like. And she got away from what I felt made her unique, you know. But yeah, you know, I feel like it's.
I'll give you the choice. I just since I know the comic, it could have been better.
Yeah, the vision versus the.
I imagine
adaptation.
Carrie might have had a lot to do with that too. Because Carrie is very anti-gun violent, very, and he might have even came in there and said, "Look, I don't want to do the movie like the book is. Let's make it more fun."
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe we'll do that.
I think the studio was trying to make it more PG-13 to reach more people.
One day, and we'll do some research on it.
Yeah. Definitely worth
I could spend a whole lot of time at number 3 since we just talked about Dredd at number 3.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 3 for me is The Crow.
I've got that coming up.
Yeah. I have Hellboy number 3.
Well, that made number 3 easy.
Yep. Yeah.
At number 2, I have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Nice.
Such a fun movie. Such a good movie. Edgar Wright at one of his finest. Definitely a movie I want to do on the show one day. I love Scott Pilgrim
so
vs.
many
the World.
people, man. Chris,
a lot of actors.
Chris Evans, Thomas Jane.
It still holds up well
Brandon
a few years
Routh.
after it came out.
Brie Larson.
Such a fun fucking movie to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
And I the first time I saw it, I was just like, it was so weird and different that I wasn't sure. It's one of the few times I rented a movie and watched it twice. Just because, okay, I need to watch this again.
Yeah.
And I loved it the second time I was watching it,
Yeah. Yeah, and I also enjoyed... are we on number 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, I'd like to go with... God, I had it in my mind. Oh, A History of Violence. That's another graphic novel.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Ball's getting a deep cut.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's starring Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris. And Viggo Mortensen plays a family man who thwarts a local robbery and becomes a national hero on TV. And then a couple of hitmen recognize him, and they confront him about his violent past. And excellent movie, slow burn, but
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a great movie, A History of Violence, and it's a graphic novel. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a
excellent performances in that movie.
Yeah, great crime movie.
It had kind of a non-standard director. Who directed that?
I don't recall.
It was who? You're gonna make me look it up.
Yeah, I will.
Because I'm curious. I remember it was not your typical director.
What's your number 2, Matt, while he's researching?
Well, I was going to have it at number 2.
David Cronenberg, who made The Fly.
Oh, really?
He wasn't really known for that kind of... I remember that being a big deal. He wasn't really known for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know the comic book adaptation was different, and that's why I'm going to just have it as an honorable mention. And I'm going to pull a Mark. Mark does this a lot on a lot of lists. I'll tie it with Kick-Ass and Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
It's Dark Horse Comics, isn't it?
Dark Horse, yeah.
Well, Kick-Ass is probably... The movie's closer to the comics than some of these other comics. It's just not...
Yeah.
The comic's probably more violent than the movie.
Well, yeah, because it was really... Wasn't it really the dad that killed the mom and then faked it?
I'd have to go back and read the book.
I believe that was...
But now the second movie is not as close to the comics as the book is. Because I've read all the Kick-Ass books except for Kick-Ass 3. I still need to read that one. I've read 1 and 2, and I've read the Hit Girl Prelude. Yeah. I actually really like those books. I'm not a huge Mark Millar fan, but something about his Kick-Ass stories I really enjoy. I like those books.
I like to throw in an honorable mention. Ghost World.
Nice.
Starring Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch. Yeah. It's a coming-of-age teenage movie. Yeah. And I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You have an honorable mention?
Off the top of my head, not
Wanted for me.
Wanted?
Yep. Honorable mention.
That's right.
Wanted's a pretty good guilty
But
pleasure
it
movie.
didn't really follow the comic book.
No, but it showed Angelina Jolie's butt in the movie.
Well, you can see that in any movie.
You could see her boobs in Hackers.
I do like Wanted. And a young Chris Pratt, who's fucking James McAvoy's
fat?
Yeah.
Fat Pratt's fucking James McAvoy's
Yeah, Fat Pratt.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like, you think you should get Plan B and put it in, a girl's omelet? Hey, here you go. I was like, talking about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I have, my number one's probably pretty obvious. One of my all-time favorite movies is The Crow.
Yeah.
Of course, I
The Crow.
love The Crow. I usually watch it around Halloween for obvious reasons. I didn't get it watched this week when I was on vacation.
Yeah.
But, I'm always going to love The Crow. It would be hard-pressed to ever find a comic book film that's not Marvel DC that would take the place of number one for me over The Crow.
Yeah, my number one is 300.
Nice.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And
That changed cinema, man.
Yeah, man, I forgot about 300.
300.
That could have made my top 5 easily.
Yeah. I think it holds up well. I mean, just the classic story of heroism.
Yeah.
In a very heightened reality.
Yeah.
And the cinematography. I mean, even though it's mostly shot green screen, it just doesn't.
And
it makes you forget.
A young Michael Fassbender in there.
Highly stylized. Yeah.
Very stylized.
Yeah, I love that.
300 is a great movie.
Yeah. But I don't recall. Was it a vertical title? I know it's kind of cheating if it's involved with DC, and I know Frank Miller wrote it, but I'm trying to remember if it was a vertical title.
I don't remember being no, it's Dark Horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
300 is Dark Horse.
Yeah. Was that Keanu Reeves movie, The Ronin? Was that based on?
No, that wasn't.
It wasn't based on Frank Miller's Ronin?
Maybe it was. No, it wasn't on Frank Miller's Ronin.
Okay.
No, they've been talking about doing a Frank Miller's Ronin for years, and no one's ever put it out.
Hollywood's racist.
And I haven't actually. I've only read it like once. It's
Hollywood hates
not
Asians.
bad. Ronin, I remember Ronin being pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe one day they'll make it.
Yeah, when I saw 300, Ronin was always in the talk.
Yeah.
Afterwards, and Sin City. How can I forget?
Dude, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Sin City.
Fucking
This is
Sin
what happens
City.
when I make my
Time
list.
Cop.
That's what happens when I make my list at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also have The Crow as number one.
Yeah. You can take Sin City if you want.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why can't I do Time Cop or Tank Girl or Barbed Wire?
This just
do
makes me
that.
think of
Yeah.
these movies we haven't done on the show yet, like Sin City and Wanted.
Untapped,
Sin City-
man. It's
Sin
untapped.
City 2 is just worth the admission just for seeing Ava Green.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, dude, did you ever see the sequel to 300? Rise of the Empire? Even though it's not as good,
No.
just for the Ava Green scene, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Sin City 2 had a ton of Ava Green scenes.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, buddy.
I liked part 2. I didn't like it as much as 1, but I didn't understand the hate part 2 got. I was like, I
Oh, the
liked
people
it.
are dumb.
So.
Kingsman.
Kingsman wasn't that good, though.
You didn't like The Kingsman?
I can't, I don't like movies with...
I like the first one.
Atomic Blonde.
I like the Atomic
I like
Blonde.
the Tom Blonde.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I had a lot of issues with Kingman. I'm not a big fan of that wire work choreography they use at the end of the church scene, where like tell an actor stand here, we're going to move the cameras around. I don't know, I like more realistic choreography.
I can't believe that's Colin Firth. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like always known to take, stuffy British roles.
I didn't hate the Kingsman, because I like most stuff Matthew Vaughn does. I just felt like, I don't know.
Rocketeer.
Yeah, that's a good
I
movie.
rewatched that. It didn't hold up for me.
It's,
hold up?
slower to watch when you watch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's original. I appreciate it for that. But
Yeah, I like the Rocketeer though. But yeah, it's a little harder to watch nowadays. So yeah, that's our top favorite non-Marvel DC comic movies.
There you go.
Pretty good little list there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're apparently old and forget some of the good movies.
Yep.
That's okay. In longer
The
run.
Shadow.
Oh, The Shadow.
Yeah.
Dark Man.
Yeah.
Dark Man's.
Dark Man's original.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
original.
That's Sam Raimi. But The Shadow with Alec Baldwin
Yeah.
and
Dude, I tried rewatching that. Talk about some cheese. It's not as,
Wasn't there 3 of them?
no, there's only one.
Oh.
No, 3 Dark Man.
There's 3 Dark Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Zane's Phantom holds up better than Al
You think
Baldwin's
so?
Shadow.
Yeah.
I
actually
saw
have
Phantom in theaters.
Yeah, it holds up better.
What a
than-
goofy looking superhero.
Yeah.
But as a movie, it's more watchable than The Shadow.
What's his special? Does he have a special strength?
He's got a gun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a purple man with the gun. Yeah.
Man, only our grandparents would appreciate that.
Well,
Yeah.
a quick rant though. There's actually a script out there for a sequel to The Phantom, but the whole point in Billy Zan has been trying to get it made, but the idea is it's supposed to be 20 years later so that Billy Zan can die and pass the Phantom powers over to his son.
Ah.
So Billy Zan has been pushing that around Hollywood. He would love to get another Phantom movie made, but there's not a lot of interest in 1930s pulp characters right now.
No.
Unfortunately, in Hollywood.
How about a Mystery Men sequel?
Was that a comic book though,
No, I don't think so.
or was it just?
That's a good question.
Satire.
It was
I think it was just satire.
It was a dumb Ben Stiller movie. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
I only seen it once. I remember enjoying it, but I never watched it again.
Yeah.
I never went out of my way to watch it again.
Only it's on like Netflix, isn't it? I think, yeah. It
Yeah.
might be.
Well, I think it was the first superhero satire movie. Because what was another movie that kind of lampooned that recently? That lampooned the superhero genre. Was there one that was like that?
There might have been.
Oh, you know what? Mystery Men Comics was an anthology American comic book series from the golden age of comic books.
I know that, but I don't think the movie's based on
No, I think it's a...
Yeah, no, the movie's not
Does
based
Tales from
parody.
the Crypt count?
Yes, it does.
Because
It was a TV series, though.
yeah, but
Yeah, it was a
lot of
comic in the
stories based on
1950s.
50s comics.
Right.
And that's what... So we did this list of top 5 comic book villains. And I got roasted because my number one
don't
villain
even
was
go
Sir Wortham, was Dr. Wortham, who was a real life doctor that tried to say that comics were killing our youth's
still-
minds and almost got them banned completely.
But that's kind of meta, though, isn't it?
Exactly. It still wasn't.
I felt like it was deep.
It wasn't Dr.
He was-
fucking Doom, motherfucker.
Well, Stan Lee thought he
Who
was
was
a
your
real life
number
comic book. My number 2, I think it was like Thanos or
That was
Galactus
a
or
long time
something.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know what episode number
Dude, that was probably like episode like 35 or something.
Judging by how much this movie, the Joker's making, I think the Joker's probably the most recognized villain in comic books.
Probably so.
You know,
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
you know, you probably would have updated that list if that list was around for Infinity War.
Yeah.
Dude, I still think about that movie sometimes. Infinity War, best damn Thanos movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Man.
And Thanos was so amazing.
So many memes
Yeah.
from that.
So many memes, yeah, but Thanos as a CGI character worked.
Yeah.
You forget that he's CGI.
Yeah, he's probably the best CGI character since Gollum.
That's good.
As
thank
far
you.
as well, there's been some good CGI characters. Gollum, Caesar in the Planet of the
Or-
Apes films. Y'all ready for some news?
Yes.
So HBO Max announced their service details and things like that. And the only real big genre-related thing is they're going to do a Green Lantern show on HBO Max. I don't know what this means if we're not going to get the Green Lantern core film or not. I said corn film.
Corn film.
But as a Green Lantern fan, I'm excited about this. I hope that it's done right and they bring Green Lantern to the small screen in a proper way.
In Blackest Night.
Because, you know, Green Lantern is quite an epic story with a lot of multifacets to it.
Yeah.
And television might be the right way to do a Green Lantern show, that you can span it over several seasons and introduce all the different aspects of
But
it.
on the WB with a romance on the side.
No, it's
No.
on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see how it comes about.
Oh, and a good majority of the Criterion Collection Godzilla movies are also part of it, too.
Oh, really?
Yes. If they put Kong vs. Godzilla on there, the new one, I'll be so pissed. As an exclusive movie feature. Mm-hmm. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss were let go. I didn't know if you're...
Jumping my gun over there.
Oh, you were struggling there.
I
You
was
were
like, you
oh, my
talk, I'm sitting
eyesight,
there
I
looking.
can't see.
I'm working on it here, man. Fine, we'll just go to the Star Wars news then. You know, I was saving it for last.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Because there's a couple of small tidbits.
Go ahead.
No, fuck it, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so-
Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse 2 is coming out in 2022.
Whoop-de-
There we go.
dude.
That's going to be
No, I'm
awesome.
joking.
They announced it today, April of 2022.
I'll wait for the home video version.
I love
Home
the first
video.
one. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. So I'm super excited for this. Hopefully they can capture magic twice and do another good animated
Well,
Spider-Man film.
given the amount of time, then
Yeah.
yeah.
And the other quick tidbit before we get to long Star Wars news is
Yes.
they're bringing back Peyton Reed to do Ant-Man 3.
Ooh, nice.
Don't know where this is going to fit in their...
Slew?
No, and there are a group
Trough?
of movies over the next couple of years in the phase, if it's going to be in the next couple of years. But I guess he's deep into the script writing stage now, and so they're bringing him back for a third Ant-Man film.
And the Ant-Man movies weren't that expensive to make it.
No.
They did turn out a profit.
Shoot, they start, and like Ant-Man and Wasp it was shot and completed like in 8 months.
Yeah.
It was very quick. So, I would imagine. You notice with the Ant-Man films, there's special effects in them, but they're not as special effect heavy as maybe some of the other films.
Yeah.
It's mostly just him getting bigger or smaller, and they can do all that on CGI.
Camera
tricks.
Green screen now. Before we get to the Star Wars trailer for The Mandalorian that came out, we had other Star Wars news that Long was trying to tell everybody.
I'm sorry, the booze made me forget.
It's okay.
I forget. What was the news?
What was
the Game
the
of Thrones show runners, DB Weiss
and Benioff.
Benioff have left Star Wars.
Wow.
People are celebrating.
They are not going to do their own trilogy as they had planned. They decided to back off, and they've taken a lot of hit from the media on this. People said, they left. They did Game of Thrones season 8 in a hurry to go do Star Wars. They back out of that too.
They have a $200 million deal with Netflix.
Yeah, so they're choosing to do a Netflix deal instead. So they're still going to make plenty of fucking money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy is being canned too, but in current promotion for his new film Knives Out, he's saying, nope, I'm still working on Star Wars.
Knives Out.
Which actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, Chris Evans is in it.
Daniel Craig.
Yep.
So,
and
Your
Jamie
mom.
Curtis.
But according to
Curtis.
Johnson, that his Star Wars trilogy is still in full effect. So we'll see. And we got a new trailer this past week for The Mandalorian, which hits on November 12th. We get to see The Mandalorian speak a little bit. We got some new footage. And
Gina Carano. I'm waiting for her action figure.
I'm fully convinced, man. I think the twist is a non-twist. I think he's Fett in some way. I have a feeling. They said there's a major Star Wars universe spoiler in the first 5 minutes of the first episode.
Let Fett be dead.
Yeah, he fell into that giant anus in the sand.
He died like a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not part of this whole Boba Fett love fest.
We're going to bookmark this episode.
I'm not.
So in a couple weeks when we get that first episode, if we find out he's Fett, I'm going to bring all this back up to you guys.
He fell into a giant butthole.
Well, no, what y'all think of the trailer, man? You are excited for the show? I can't wait.
I want to see Bill Burr.
I love the gritty undergroundness of it. I think it's more Rogue One style in the way the look of the world. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah,
it looks like a movie.
Did you kind of notice how everything's dark and gritty, but Mandalorian's armor is real shiny and new?
Yeah,
it's almost like he's supposed to stand out over everybody else.
Yep.
But super excited.
You notice how the blaster bolts bounce off his armor?
Yeah,
ricochet off his armor. Yeah, and it's supposedly the same material that Captain Phasma has.
Yeah, and that hits on November 12th on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
the whole world will be watching.
Man, hopefully their servers can handle the traffic.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, the rumor is that I read somewhere it's a rollout. Like you might wake up in the morning and you might not have it on your PS4 yet. Like you might have to wait. Like it might be a rollout throughout the day. So, I guess I'll have more news on that here when it gets closer. Mm-hmm. That was a rumor that was going to be a day long rollout.
Maybe we should do for a Patreon special 1 episode review. Episode reviews for The Mandalorian.
Possibly. Even though the Patreon's not launching officially exclusive episodes of January.
I thought you just announced it.
Well,
I drunk?
No. No, it's a launch to get subscribers, but then we're not doing exclusives still starting in January. That's all in the fine print.
Oh.
Fine print.
Yeah. And no porno.
Darn.
We will not review porn films. That goes without saying.
Well,
we can't do Who's Nailin' Palin?
That's all the news I got.
I need to watch that. Nailing Palin. Did you know? You remember that one? You remember that one lady who refused marriage certificates to same-sex couples in Tennessee?
What?
Back in 2015.
Really?
Even though when the federal law
was it that old church-looking lady?
Yeah, and you saw all the 2016 Republican candidates like using her as a hero, for the cause.
Yeah.
And then there's a porn parody on that.
What? There was?
Yeah.
How do you make one off of that?
They just choose some hot-looking MILF, and
I guess so.
Of course, there's a Ben Carson.
Oh my God, a Ben Carson.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
That's friggin' hilarious. Yeah. There's porn parodies for everything.
Yeah.
There's one for Pokemon.
There's one for American Dad.
Oh, Are you voting for America? There's one. There's one for Fuller House with the alien. Oh my god!
70 episodes in, I think we just jumped
to
the proverbial shark. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. The perverted shark.
It's the whiskey. No.
Yeah.
Let's preview next week's film.
Next week's film.
What are we watching? No.
Rugrats, the movie.
No.
We're going to do the Christopher Nolan directed, Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale starring, The Prestige.
Are you watching closely?
What you're about to see is considered safe.
He's complacent, he's predictable, he's boring. A real magician tries to invent something new that other magicians are going to scratch their heads over.
I suppose you have such a trick, Mr. Baldwin.
That's your thing. It's the one they're going to remember me for.
Every great magic trick consists of 3 acts. The first act is called the pledge. The magician shows you something ordinary, but of course, it probably isn't. The second act is called the turn. The magician makes this ordinary something feel something extraordinary. There's a third act called the prestige. It's the part with the twists and turns, where lives hang in the balance. You see something shocking you've never seen before. Now you're looking for the secret.
He's obsessed with discovering your method.
But you won't find it.
What happened?
It was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen. The man stole my life. I'm gonna steal his trick. I need to know how he does it. He has no trick. It's real.
He lives! He's act! That's what it takes!
I did everything you asked!
How does he do it? You want the truth.
Nothing is impossible.
No more secrets.
Secrets of my life.
This was built by a man who can actually do what magicians pretend to do.
Real magic.
You think I'm bloody enjoying living like this?
I know what you really are!
Abracadabra.
It's a good movie.
I'll try not to refer to him as Huge Jackman.
Please don't. With the late great David Bowie in this film.
Yeah.
Is that the porno hub?
God, I can't take you fucking guys anywhere.
Porno hub version.
I'm trying not to spit out the liquid in my
Hugh
mouth.
Jackson.
So we're gonna do the
Daniels
Prestige,
Craig.
the Prestige on next week's film, which is probably out of the Christopher Nolan collection of films he's directed. This might be his hidden gem in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Christian's Ball.
It's a really, really good film about
Good twist,
rival
too.
magicians with a good science fiction twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That I honestly remember the first time I saw this, and I did not see that coming.
The ending?
I remember going like, "Wow, that's really cool." So yeah. So it should be
Twist
fun
ending.
to watch. It's been a while. I probably haven't watched it since I bought it on DVD when it came out. So it's probably been some years since I've seen it. So it should be fun to watch it again. Because that was his post. He did a movie in between every Batman film. So this was his in between Batman Begins and Dark Knight film, if I remember right. So it's probably 2006. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right for the Prestige. So because he did that, then he did Inception, then he did something else for Dark Knight Rises. So yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar.
Dunkirk.
Yep. Inception.
So Christopher Nolan's The Prestige next week on the Rebel Radio Podcast.
Insomnia.
Make sure you go to rebelradiopodcast.com. Click that Patreon link. Join up.
Yes.
Even as low as $2. I don't care. You'll get a shout out on the show. We'll get your name up on the website. We will appreciate it more than you'll ever know. It would be really cool. And I will have the design for the exclusive sticker and t-shirt up hopefully by the end of the year. Actually, the sticker's already created. So it's nothing that fancy, but it's still kind of cool. So go there, join us on our social media on Facebook and Twitter so you don't miss a thing. Join the Patreon. We'd appreciate it. And as always, thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for supporting the Rebel Radio Podcast.
Yes.
We've got some big things to come. Now we got through Halloween Horrors Month. We're going to do some good episodes here towards the end of the year. And in January, we're going to be doing our 100th film. So we've got some things to look forward to here the next 6 to 8 weeks of the Rebel Radio Podcast. And we better close out this show because long Psychic Fix will fall asleep over there.
We're all feeling good.
But again, go to rebelradiopodcast.com. We appreciate it. We're on all apps. Go to iTunes. Leave us a review, man. We'd appreciate that a lot.
Yes.
And
5-star review.
But that's all I got. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long.
Okay, you didn't say anything else.
I love you.
So now the whiskey's definitely.
Yeah.
On that note, remember, just
go there and do it.
This is Chuck Huber. You're listening to the Rebel Radio Podcast. Stop being so awesome.
Hey, this is Marky Ramone, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Podcast.